What's going on, y'all? What's going on, y'all? So we are back again, girl. I got the same hoodie on from yesterday. It is so comfortable and cool. So don't think that you're seeing the same thing. I mean, well, you are, but whatever. This is Love and Hip Hop Family Reunion, Season 2, Episode 2. Cause bitch, I don't know why the edges went down. It's so cold up in here. I gotta turn the heat up. Um, it's all fun and games until the estranged husband arrives. What type of title is that? Anyway, we get up into the episode and it picks up where I left off last week, with Bobby Lights and them talking about what went down. Him and Santana and Jonathan talking about what went down at the club and how Erica allegedly, sent her friend over there to beat him up or whatever, beat up his homegirl, and he got involved and he got hurt and all that stuff. Woo woo woo. So Erica was over there to the side, talking to Amina. Amina had said, "So what's going on between you and Bobby Lights? Are y'all cool or whatever?" And y'all, I literally just woke up. Ooh, it's been a day. Um, she was like, the issue with him is that whole crew, they know how to bring his bitches in, Safari, and how to, maneuver when he has his other women around, and she just don't like that shit. Okay, he's still a married man. She says she still don't want him to be out here messing around with no women or whatever. And technically speaking, like, it's messed up because we already know that people in their crews or whatever, you got people that got crew members, that got friends or whatever, that will cover for you and know how to, maneuver around a situation when you want to bring another person in, regardless of what type of issues you're having with your significant other. You could be on the same page, you could be off about to get a divorce, about to just break up or whatever, but niggas have people to cover for them. Women too, okay? So, and we see how Safari works, so Erica may not be wrong. But in this case, I feel like she probably jumped the gun a little bit with Bobby. Bobby, no, let me say this. I feel as though, because I saw how all that shit went down on the blogs, all right? And Bobby definitely inserted himself into that situation. He inserted himself into that situation because Bobby wants to be seen. The way, I'm telling y'all, if y'all go back and y'all go look at all of the stuff that just came out from that whole situation, he wanted himself to be seen. It had absolutely nothing to do with him. And he inserted himself. The only thing that it had to do with him was the fact that, as he said, that was his homegirl that got involved with it, okay? And if that's the case, you let these women talk it out. I don't care if you're a gay man or whatever. You let them women talk about it, You sit your butt down and you break up the fight when the fight happens. Other than that, you don't insert yourself or nothing like that. Moving on from that, they tried to do game night, asking questions, who did this, who was swinging from a shower rod, of course, Mimi, who was short, thick, and from Atlanta and loud, of course, Shekinah. Shekinah got a little offended and said, "Don't play with me." I said, "Damn, girl, they just playing." Who from Florida, and always saying, period. Like, it wasn't tough questions that we couldn't figure out who was a twin, Amina, who was from Florida, Bobby Lights, all right? Then the lightning started happening. The productions had to come in there and shut things down. And at this point, Bobby Lights went up there to Erica saying, "Listen, we need to talk because we trying to get this done right here, right now." He don't want it to continue. And I guess that's what the thing is for. I did like the little meetup that Tara and Amina had, because when we look back at it and after listening to what they said and the fact that they're cool now, they were not cool because of Peter. Because Peter played both of them. And I'm so tired of seeing stuff like this. We having these women fighting these women because of these men. All right, because no good ass niggas that's out here, just trying to play both sides or whatever. Tara probably most likely, as we said, was blindsided. She said she didn't know about it. Amina said she did not know the extent of the relationship that Peter had with Tara. Because 9 out of 10, Peter probably said that they was done. Tara said they got married and he was still living with her. If y'all remember that whole saga, that's when Love and Hip Hop New York was good, okay? I don't know what it is now, but that's when it was good. That was at prime peak, ratchetness, okay? And dirty feet, And they was able to get back on the same track. And Amina said that she admires her, she respects Tara, and that's all that it needs to be, because at the end of the day, it's about the kids are brothers, the kids are sisters, and they don't need to see that negativity going on and feel that. Even if they don't see it, they can feel it. So let's all just come together and realize that the person that's doing all this shit and who the messed up person is actually fucking Peter. But they're cool for right now. So that was great. I love to see them hug. I love to see them on the same page. So we got one for the book as a positive win. Then we get Erica in a room with Bobby. And then you also got Jonathan and Zell. And I'm sitting here like, why is Jonathan and Zell there? Zell just looks so out of place, and I know Jonathan is one of the main people that supposedly put this thing together, but I guess Bobby needed somebody there so that they can show that it's going to be positive vibes or whatever. So let's get Jonathan. No, freak that, okay? Because I don't need nobody else to come in and want to say what they had to say. But then again, he probably did need a little safety, because Erica, she probably a jump at his ass. But they get into the whole situation, and Erica just denied everything. I didn't send nobody to beat up nobody. They just so happened to get into a fight, and you put yourself into it. That's it. She wasn't there to fight, but she did get she swung. But hey, it is what it is. And of course, Bobby wanted to get all up in his talk, and because ain't nobody gonna do nothing to me and this motherfucker and all this stuff. And well, boy, shut up, okay, shut up. I don't care what nobody say. You just don't look right arguing with women. You are still a man. And like I said, I feel as though he inserts himself into a lot of things. He inserts himself to a lot of things. I see some people I know that's my homegirl or whatever, but I'm going to let them talk that shit out. And if it comes to them fighting, I'm not a jumper hoe, okay? If the other person's side didn't jump in, and I'm not going to jump in. I'm going to let them do that shit one-on-one. And when that shit look a little bit too messy, too grimy, too gritty, then we going to jump in to, back that shit up, okay? Not to throw hands, but to break it up. But all that rah up in your chest, but I mean, Erica don't care about that shit. And nobody is intimidated by you, okay? Let that be that. So Bobby Light basically was like, ain't nobody finna put their hands on me. Erica said she did not pay nobody, but the whole reason why she feels some type of way is because you brought a woman up there that you probably knew had some dealings with Safari, or you brought her for Safari. And like I said, you interjected yourself into their shit. Okay, that's to me interjecting, and then it came back on you, so you got the repercussions of it. And she was like, I'm going through postpartum, all the stuff that she going through. And she said even prior to that, we was cool. So, why would you do that? I know that's on principle that that's your homegirl or whatever, but you brought that bitch up there for Safari, or that's where she wound up going. So, her feelings and emotions is all over the place. And I guess they figured that it was a misunderstanding between them two. But, Bobby Light's talking about something. The only reason why I'm going to just let it go, because I know she was in the NICU and probably going through postpartum. No, she was going through postpartum. Y'all have to understand. And this is in no way trying to take up for Erica, because I feel like a lot of the stuff that they are doing, her and Safari, they're full of shit. And I do like Erica. And somewhat, I like Safari too. As much as I can talk mess about this fool, I talk about people that I actually do like too, and I can call them out. He's an asshole. He's toxic. Erica is toxic. You cannot have, and she's an asshole too. You cannot have, bitch. I really wish Sin and Erica would have got back together. I'm just going to put it out there, okay? Because out of all her relationships, that was the one that I liked. And it wasn't because they were girlfriend and girlfriend. It was because Erica just seemed a little bit softer, but then she kind of seemed a little bit aggressive a little bit, but softer at the same time. I don't know. Like, she wasn't so like she is now, but they said that shit was real. I'm still on the fence as to if it really was, but hey, I mean, well, it probably was, because if it wasn't, why are we putting up fake pages and leaving negative comments on? Okay, Erica. Erica, bitch, I just want Sin to say that shit one time, because that's gonna take me all the way down. Because when she was coming at her throat, that's what she was saying. I said, bitch, I thought it was Erica. But no, she was going through a whole bunch at that time. Like, we have to remember, she was a new mother. She was dealing with, the stress of having a baby premature, being in the NICU with the baby, not knowing what's going to happen with the baby. Her also, she probably wasn't even through with postpartum that she was having from the first baby that she had with Safari. And then you have to deal on the fact that your husband is out here doing all this other stuff and he's not being supportive. But, ain't no telling what she was doing in that household, because I don't believe that bitch was never 100% innocent. But he was an asshole just as much as she was. But I feel like he was more so. We give her just a slight pass because of her conditions and what she was going through with bearing his child. But, he was being a dick. Okay. And he ain't had no real friends around him telling him that you shouldn't be out here doing this. And if he did, he just didn't care. Okay. That's what we realized. So, Jonathan was cool with the fact that they was going to be okay. And, we was like, we're going to do some gay stuff. She was like, remember, I'm still gay. He was like, yeah, I know you still lick the stuff or whatever. And Zell said something about, I can't stand y'all or I hate y'all or whatever. And then he get in his confessions talking about something, just because he's a bisexual man, he do want to get married to a woman to have kids. And, because he grew up on this close family knit type of situation. And I'm like, you don't necessarily need a woman or be married to a woman to have a kid to have a family. You could do that because I just don't see Zell with a woman. I'm sorry. I know we saw him throughout the season when he was on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, and I'm not denouncing that he's bisexual, because bisexuality in men, that do happen, and it is a thing just like it is with women. It's not no either or. It happens, okay? Even though society or some of y'all want to say that there's no way that a man could be bisexual, there absolutely is. Because if there's no way that a man could be bisexual, there's no way that a woman could be bisexual. So let's stop with that. But the way that Zell is, it just seems like he's more comfortable with men. That's what it is. But when I see him with women, it just seems a little forced. That's where I get to. Not saying that it just don't seem natural for him to be with a woman, from what it was portrayed on TV. And I'm like, you could have your husband if that's what you truly want. You could have a husband and still have a child. Okay, you could have a biological child and still have a husband. But I respect the fact that he wants to do that. If he wants to have and he's been saying this, so that's never changed, and I respect that. That's what he want. That's what he want. And they was like, Zell, you did say that you wanted a kid. Bobby was like, well, since I got little Nas X pregnant, everybody else, all these niggas want to get pregnant and stuff. And that broke the tension because Erica started laughing. She jumped on Bobby, and they was just having a good time. So everybody was just having a good time at that moment. The next day, Booby is responsible for the next event that they're going to have. It's going to be track and field. Sin come down there. They hugging all up on each other like they already a couple. I said, you know what? I can kind of see them, but I feel like Sin will probably run that nigga to the ground, okay? Like, she'll tear that ass up, I don't know. I just get that feeling. Like, she too much for him. But cause he a little slow. He a little slow in everything that he do. Not in thinking, but just in his movements and everything. Y'all, his speech and all that. But he was talking about how they gonna do field day. And I was like, field day, oh, they talking about how they love field day when they was in school and stuff like that. I'm sitting here like, bitch, I couldn't stand that shit when we had field day at day camp. I couldn't stand that shit, okay? Because that means everybody had to participate in all these events. Bitch, you got to see my big ass, because I was chunky back then. I wasn't as big as I am now, okay? I was chunky truth be told, I'm going to tell y'all this. I was chunky, bitch, it's like an episode of My 600-Pound Life, but I wasn't like extremely overweight the way that they was. I was chunky throughout my whole life. I've never been like the skinny kid. I had like a few extra pounds. I was a little fluffy here and there, but like by the time I got into high school, it kind of, filled out my womanly curves and whatever filled out, but then, the weight was still there. You know what I'm saying? But I was still a little chunky monkey thing. And I ain't want to do all that shit. You ain't finna embarrass me and running all this. Girl. I remember one time we was at school, we had to climb up the road. I said, no, bitch. Now look at me and look at you. Now you know damn well I ain't gonna be able to do that. Stop it. But anyway, that was cute. They frolicking with each other. She liked to keep it on a slow pace. That's nice. Meanwhile, they at the pool, Yo-Yo, Erica, Mimi, and Brooke, and Yo-Yo sitting there either freestyling or reciting one of her little songs that she has, and they get into talking about the whole relationships and how they didn't think that Erica and Safari would be in the position that they are in. And she was like, yeah, I filed for divorce, but people like, why do you care that he's with somebody else or whatever since you filed for divorce? It's like, because the man literally did not even try to fight. It's been this theme since yesterday. Lawrence didn't fight for Issa. He just let her go. Erica filed divorce, and Safari said deuces. Brooke was like, listen, that's what men see. Like, if you want to file for divorce, that means that you don't want me, so therefore I'm going to go out and do whatever the hell it is that I want to do. And instead of just going ahead and, releasing those emotions and crying about it or whatever and trying to, fight for the woman that they say they want, they just go out here and act out. And that's what Safari's doing. His thing is, instead of crying about it and showing emotions about it, let me go fuck around. That's what he's doing. He's very immature with his ways. But truth be told, I feel like he's ready to get up out of that relationship. He's ready to get up out of the marriage. But he still probably want to have his cake and eat it too. Like, still fuck around with Erica on the side. Because if you saw the making of this, like when they was filming this, they was so goddamn close to each other. And they was acting like, I said, you can't tell me they didn't fuck while they was out there. Because that's why I said, now, I thought y'all filed for divorce. So why are we doing this? What? This made me want to mind my business. You want to know who else did some shit like that? Amber fucking Rose. We'll talk about that and what it is. Because, girl, anyway. And then Brooke offered us some information that we weren't privy to, but I'm not surprised. Because they had issues with their relationship ever since the first beginning when we first saw them on the show. She said that man, Marcus Black, her husband, she know for sure he cheated on her while she was pregnant. I said, damn. Now, that got to be the lowest. I could not forget. Like, okay, if you do it before, that's one thing, maybe I could possibly say yes or no if I want to come back to you, be in my feelings, be hurt. I could probably give you another chance. Probably won't, most likely. But I think that is the most disrespectful thing to do to your wife, to your woman, to whoever's in your life that you are with, and they are pregnant, to cheat on them. They're about to bear life that you helped create, your seed. They're carrying it, your child. And the one thing that you do is disrespect them by going and cheating on them while their body is going through all of this stuff. Baby Brooke better than me, because I wouldn't have took that nigga back. I wouldn't have did that. That would have been the ultimate no. No, that would have been the ultimate hell no. No, we wouldn't be together. I said, y'all a new breed. Y'all a new breed. I guess love is stronger for y'all because it just wouldn't be for me. So, they continue sitting at the pool, and Mimi, like, Brooke was saying she not making no excuses for, Marcus, okay? Because she said he had a weak moment or whatever, but y'all was still married. Brooke, you better than me. Yo-Yo was talking about whether or not the love is strong and all that, whether or not you want to fight for things, and, um, I get it, but no. No, that just would have been a breaking point, and that just would have been my it right there. I have to end it because that's so disrespectful. Mimi was talking about how she understands where Erica's coming from because, her stuff she went through what she went through with Stevie J, and she didn't realize the severity of it until after she saw season 1, because when Stevie J was talking to and was with Jocelyn, she didn't know that they were actually together until she saw season 1, because he just told her that he was with her as an artist type of situation, and we all knew that that was a lie. And I feel like, Mimi, I feel like you trying to tell a lie right there. I feel like you already kind of knew something else was going on, but if that's what you want to put out there, that's what you want to put out there. Moving on from that, we get Peter and Amina. They meet up, and she's asking him what happened to him during the little game night. Why you wasn't out there? You wasn't out there. Cisco wasn't out there. They was tired. Rich wasn't out there. All of that. So Peter is still in his feelings about this whole situation with Cisco and Amina supposedly, allegedly, probably doing something, which she claims that she didn't do anything with him. But they felt like he crossed the line because he tried to. She said that night where it was the Super Bowl in question that really brought this all up. She did stay with him, but they did not have sex or anything like that. They did kiss, but other than that, nothing else happened. Do y'all believe that? I listen. If I was in a position, I would feel some type of way because, that's my ex or that's my baby mama, and we still trying to figure stuff out, and you gonna put yourself in that position to, you my bro, so you should know, don't touch my stuff. I'm not gonna touch yours. Don't touch my girls or whatever, especially when we still in the midst of trying to figure things out, because I think they were at that point. And so Cisco, he did cross the line. I have to give it to Peter. He crossed the line, but I think like they just dragging this shit out. And then with the boxing match, Peter want to say he won, even though Cisco was the one who won. All of this, and then Amina has to tell Peter that Cisco was up there dancing and doing a little striptease or whatever while she was out there doing her yoga. And mostly it was because he was trying to get under Peter's skin. They are so immature. And I'm like, Cisco, you literally sat here with Jonathan and you talking about how, part of the issue is because you can't see your kids and they can. Okay, Ann. So now I'm looking at it like, Ann, so now you're really antagonizing the situation. You are the problem at this point. You are the problem at this point. You know that man is mad at you, or y'all got some unanswered and talked about issues, and yet you up here doing stuff to provoke the situation. Like, stop it, even I don't care if you're joking or not, this not the time for it, okay? Because y'all attitudes can be volatile, go from 1 to 100 in a minute. Meanwhile, Amina told him about the divorce party, because the divorce is finalized. I forgot to tell y'all that. She told Tara that the divorce is finalized, invited her to the little party that they're gonna have out there, I believe, that day. And he was cool with it, like a 70s theme and all that. So he was cool with it. Meanwhile, everybody else is getting together because they're about to do field day. Rich Dollars and Peter came over there to the little picnic area where they was at, and baby, they was walking like everything on them hurt. I said, y'all ain't do shit the day before but drink, so why are you walking like every bone on your body is cracking? Okay? And then what got me is this situation. When Rich sat down, and, he looking at Erica. He was like, oh, give me a kiss. Just give me a kiss. Like, come on, just give me one right here. One good one. And he was like, I mean, I know Safari coming, but, the vibes is there. I know she feeling me. I'm feeling her, whatever. I'm sitting here like, I can't even take this serious. So which one is lying? Which is the real story? Because I seen, and I'm finna tell you why. Listen. The other day, I saw the commercial for the new season of Marriage Boot Camp Hip Hop Edition, okay? The past season with Nori and Brock and Amber and Moni Love and Molly Mall, that's just ended like this last week. That was the last episode, okay? And the preview for the new season had came out, and guess who's on there? And I know they filmed this in advance, just like they filmed this in advance. Before we see it, it's not in real time, but guess who's on there? Rich Dollar and Mariah Lynn. So y'all about to be like Molly Mall and Treasure on there, because that was a fake relationship and they got kicked off the show. So what's going on? All of a sudden you want to get with Erica. You don't care that Safari is going to be there, but you're acting as if you're so-called single, but then you finna get on another show about your relationship problems with another woman that's not. Girl, stop playing with me. These reality shows ain't reality no more. Y'all just don't care no more. Y'all just don't care no more to keep stuff under wraps. But all right, if y'all want to play this out, we're going to see how it play out. Meanwhile, Booby came down there to give everybody their shirts, put them up in teams. We got team leaders, Jonathan, Mimi, and I think Bobby or whatever. Bobby came rolling down there and his stuff. He was like, listen, people think I'm gay, and that don't mean that. People think I'm gay. Okay, so I'm just throwing me off. I'm sorry. People think I'm gay, but they don't think like, because I'm gay that I ain't gonna be out here doing all this stuff. And that's a misconception, okay? Because it's a lot of athletic gays, okay? Just because you gay, just because you may be feminine, don't mean that you can't be athletic. Just doesn't mean that you can't be strong. Don't mean that you're not a man, okay? And I'm putting that out there because later on they get on the bus to get ready to go, and there's a stripper pole in the middle, and you got Amina doing her little tricks on there. You got Bobby, he wasn't even doing too much of, he wasn't so, grinding on it or whatever. He could barely get around the pole, and it wasn't nothing sexual about it. It wasn't nothing overtly gay about it, if you want to say that, okay, or overtly feminine about it. But then here comes Zell, who said, ugh, y'all too damn gay for me. And I'm sitting here like, wow. And Jonathan was like, how dare you say some stuff like that? Jonathan got offended, and I got offended too, because I just went to bat for you, and now after hearing you say what you said at that room, and I'm playing it back, and then seeing what you said in your confessional at the same time, and then hearing what you said on this bus about them being too gay, these little slight remarks. If y'all don't understand, this is what we call internalized homophobia. People be like, how is it that gay people can be homophobic? This is a case of how gay people can be homophobic, or bi people, or anybody in the LGBT community can be homophobic. He is fighting with himself. Jonathan is like, I'm proud to be who I am. If I was to come back as something else, I wish I'd come back as gay, and be happy and be who I am and all of that. Okay, you can't tell me to tone nothing down, because the way he said it was like he was disgusted. Oh, y'all too gay for me, or whatever. And I'm just sitting here like, you fighting with yourself, Zell. You are literally fighting with yourself. And it's almost as if you are trying to meet the standards of society. And that's why you want to marry a woman. That's why you want to have kids with a woman and be married to her and all of that, and have this so-called, traditional family. When we have progressed so much, and we see that family life can be male or woman, woman and woman, man and man, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your family life look like, as long as that's your unit, and it's love and protection and all of that there. You know what I'm saying? But and this is not taken away from anybody that wants to do that. Because there are people who are bisexual who does not necessarily, they just so happen to fall in love with somebody of the opposite sex. And that is fine. And they have their own family or whatever. That's A-okay. But when you say stuff like, oh, you too gay for this, or y'all too gay for me, or whatever, it's just like, you're internalizing you're internalizing the homophobia that you have within yourself, okay? Because you're not comfortable in your own skin. When you say things like that, you're not comfortable in your own skin. And I see a lot of that be going on TikTok. It be a whole bunch of masculine presenting gay men who be like, I ain't down with that feminine shit or whatever. You got to be a man to be with me. That's homophobia. That's homophobia. And if y'all don't understand that, I do a whole video on it to explain. But that's exactly what it is. Because I know somebody gonna probably say, well, I mean, some people be doing too gay. But and what gets me is that you say they too gay for him, but yet Bobby one of your best friends, and he's so feminine. He even dresses up in wigs and stuff. So what? That don't make sense. That's internalized homophobia right there in your face, okay? And he needs to get a hold on that. And I feel like he's fighting something. Like, be who you are. It's okay. Let people be who they are. You don't have to say stupid shit like that. So, Jonathan had said something like, you want somebody to tell you that you too black or whatever, that you need to tone down your blackness or whatever. Now, I get what Jonathan, and I understand people might get offended by that, but I totally get what he was saying, okay? And when he was on the beach talking to Sin, because she was asking how everything is going, he said he needed to talk to her, because Zell was still saying some stuff, he felt offended by Jonathan saying that analogy, but I totally get where Jonathan is coming from. But I understand why he could be offended, because, you have people that in the community, outside of the community, and some within the community that feel as though you were not born gay, you were not born this way. And if you logically think about it, why would we want to deal with some persecution if we can automatically turn it off, or not, think about it, be that way, be heterosexual, and not have those thoughts and those feelings? Why wouldn't we do that? because there's a lot of things that come along with being in the LGBT people, because we get hate crime, we get talked about, we get all of that. We get hurt, we get killed. So if we could actually choose to be straight and love it and just be who we are, of course all of us would do that to avoid that. We've all been, the majority of us been in situations where we've been called a slur. And so it hurts when somebody want to say, "Oh, you're too gay," or "I'm not gay like that." You know what I'm saying? And say, "Well, I don't date this type of person," and they're saying it not as a preference because that's just not who they're attracted to, but they're belittling. And Zell said that in a way that was belittling when it came to my ears. And some of y'all may not understand it because you're not part of the LGBT community, or even if you are, you probably don't think that way. But that's literally how it came across. You saying that, well, y'all up on the pole, and you got to be a certain way around certain people. You can't force people to this and that or whatever. Zell looked like he probably still listens to Boosie. But you know, it's like you hiding yourself when you get around. You're code switching. That's what it is. But you're gay switching. You're sexuality switching. You're presenting yourself in a different way when you get in front of certain people instead of being who you really are. Because he made the example of, I'm not going to be doing something in front of Joel Santana and making him uncomfortable. Why you can't be yourself, and why does your presence make him uncomfortable? Bobby, obviously, he's comfortable enough to be there. You have Jonathan, that's the head of the trip, who is cool with him. You have, and he's gay. You have Bobby. Yeah, he was sitting there and he went around the pole, but he wasn't over sexualizing it. So why are we making this the issue? And then when he said the thing about being gay, being black or whatever, on the one hand, yes, Jonathan, you people do, and we have to understand that even though people feel as though some gay people, they just being gay just be gay, they weren't born that way. I can give the argument that, Jonathan, maybe you shouldn't have said that because black people have no choice but to be born black, okay? We can't change our skin to color. That's the way we were born, literally, biologically, and all of that. We can have debates about the LGBT thing, whether or not you was born this way, born that way, so I can get why Zell could be offended by that part. But I also understand that because at the same time, where I can get that argument, I can get a pro argument for what Jonathan said, meaning that you have black people out here. We have colorism within our own shit. We have people outside of our community that actually tell us we're too dark, we're too black, we're too niggerish, we're too this, we're too that. We have people within our own community that tell us that, who say they wouldn't date other black people because of this. They won't date black women because of this. They won't all of that shit. But you have to, so I get that. But what you're really trying to say is you need to be who you are, regardless of what people may think. Because that person is being who they are. So why do you have to change up because you're around somebody else? And then, the remarks about, oh, well, I told you I'm still not too, I'm not as gay as him. He too gay for me because he up there walking like this and all this stuff. Well, I'm still out here. Like, you trying to show that you're a man? That's what it is. We could say that your ass gay as fuck when you sitting out there with that big that tube top on, okay, that cutoff shirt with your belly overhanging your pants. We could say that's some gay ass shit right there. Granted, they used to do that all the time in the 80s, and that shit looked a little suspect to me back then. But hey, we could say that too about you, Zell. And it's like you're putting on the front and you want to be accepted in these circles that for being like other people instead of being yourself. Like, we got to stop that. We got to stop that. Then they go in there and they talking about what's going on with Cisco. Girl, Cisco talking about these kids and all this stuff. Cisco, what is the real problem? What is the real problem? Because right now, you looking a little off. Okay? You looking like you want attention. Like, what is going on? Okay? We can't sit down and we can't talk about it. You always want to avoid and everything. Because now, at first, I really thought it was Rich and Peter. Now we see that it's really you right now. It's really you. Get your shit together, sir. So, they still asking what's going on with Cisco, whatever. Like, I forgot that they had a little thing going on back in the day. So Cisco went over there to Mimi to talk to her to see what she should do, what he should do about, talking to Sin. And here's the thing, like, you don't need to go up there and talk to somebody else and get advice about something that you know that you need to do. You need to go over there and you need to apologize to Sin for what you did a few years ago. And the fact that it's taking you 6 years to actually come clean and say, yes, I was wrong. I thought that it was something else going on with us. And therefore, when I found out that it wasn't, I acted like a bitch and did some things to you that I didn't initially plan on doing. You wanted her to pay for some stuff that she wasn't initially going to pay, but you know, once you found out that she wasn't trying to throw it at you like that, that's when you want to make her pay for all this stuff or whatever. Like, come on, you already know that. And then at this point, here comes somebody on the freaking dirt bike safari. It just has to be the one that has the big entrance, okay? And Erica was just feeling some type of way. She kind of felt it. And she came over there to give her some little comfort or whatever, which I liked. I liked that. Because at this point, what is she kind of there for? I'm with Peter Guns on this. He said, I still don't know who she is. I still don't know why she here. Same. We know who she is. But we don't know why she there. But that's just how it is, That was Love and Hip Hop. I don't know why this review that long, because I didn't expect it to get that deep with the gay shit. But y'all get what I'm saying. I ain't trying to be too preachy. I ain't trying to be sensitive. I'm just trying to let y'all know how it is. But y'all tell me how y'all feel, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.